Hey, ScouterStan. You know, requirement sign-off is a huge thing. Whether it be Cub Scouts or troop level, there's a lot of different theories, let's say. With a Cub Scout sign-off, typically this is organized through the plans of the den leader. The den leader actually runs that sign-off process. Now, sometimes that could be delegated off to the parents. It could be delegated rather, to a den chief. That's something that's totally fine. It is up to the den leader for individual sign-offs of different points. Now, some troops, depending on their size, will depend on what they would do as far as requirement sign-offs. Between joining scouting and first class, all of the rank requirements are focused on scout skills that they need for the latter part from first class all the way through to Eagle. So that first part, the first class from scout all the way through tenderfoot, second class, first class, that whole thing is set up to teach scout skills. Now, a lot of times that depends on the instructor. If the instructor is an adult, obviously that's the one who is signing off on it. There are some troops, depending on their size, as I said earlier, that will choose to have a youth instructor. It's an actual patch. I'll put it up. This position is part of the green bar patrol or the leadership of the troop. This position goes to an individual who is extremely aware of that position, very mature, almost like a den chief would be in maturity, and they understand that this role is very important. They may have classes that they're asked to do at a camp out. For instance, they might be doing, tote and chip, for example. They might have to set up the axe yard and do some instructions with the scouts. Now, this is always within the scout leader's purview. They're supposed to be watching this and maintaining this and making sure that the requirements are getting signed off correctly, okay, that the instruction is actually happening. It's not just a rubber stamp, okay? That is important for a troop leaders to make sure that they're monitoring that. Usually the Scoutmaster Corps is watching this. Now, typically this position, this instructor position, will require the scout to be of Star Scout or higher, mainly because all of the skills that they have learned now they can teach. That's part of it. They have to have that maturity. It is highly recommended that the troop does their training for all of the leadership. In fact, it's included as one of those little cards that they get at the end of that training. The instructor card is part of that. But even then, they want to go to a higher level. We would say NYLT. That's something that I recommend for everyone that's in the troop leadership youth corps. That's very important that they do that. So those might be a requirement for selecting somebody as an instructor. The instructor can be assigned to individual patrol, or it could be the whole troop. So it really depends on what the Scoutmaster and Scoutmaster group or team wants out of the instructor. So that's something they want to do. And make sure that the instructor is doing the EDGE method. That is critical. That's how we teach in scouting, is through using that EDGE method. So that being the case, make sure that they are signing off only on the skills that they are teaching. There's no backlog, there's no past history, only signing off on things they have witnessed or trained and done. None of this backdating or any of that stuff. That's very important with all the requirements. But That's what an instructor does within a troop. And then, of course, sign-off is done all across the board. The adult leaders often get involved in that, and it's really important that we keep all of these factors in mind so that we can move scouts along that path towards their goals. So, and really our major goal is to make sure they get to first class. That's the very first goal that we should set out for every new scout joining the troop. With a den, with Cub Scouts, it's always the next rank. So it is just a process that we work with, and everything is written down. There's nothing new in scouting. It's all written down, and we don't add anything to it, okay, when it comes to requirements. And that's true whether it be a merit badge or a requirement for a rank. We don't add to it. We take it word for word. So that's important. So I'm going to leave some links below. Thank you so much. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And if you have a question, please put it in the comments. I do read them and I will answer them. But I know you do good work. Okay, so keep up that good work, and I will see you on the trail.